little while ago, somebody brought it. All right, it's 6 o'clock. We'll get started. Call the meeting to order. Number two, we're gonna do a proclamation. I asked Philip and get this together for Miss Julie Tidwell. She's retiring as the elementary school teacher. She's done a heck of a job over there. She's gonna be missed.
Appreciate that.
So we'll do that Tuesday. Completion review of unfinished business, ordinance 2025-1133. This will be another public hearing and final reading, and this is the, to amend the budget for the 24-25 year. Philip, anything you want to add to that?
Yes, sir. Mayor and Commissioners, there has been some changes, but we're not going to fund balance. She's basically offset revenues with expenditures. The biggest thing is fire truck. It's been about 10,000 more on repairs. And sanitation, some line item transfers to cover. Again, not going into fund balance with that either. And actually, sanitation may close 20 to 30,000 this year to the good.
Cool.
And then the last thing that the debt service fund, she amended $500 for some late fees that was added.
Okay.
Other than that, it's the way it was.
Any
What was
questions?
wrong with the new fire truck?
It was the DEF. Yeah, DEF fluid had to take it off. It's in an emergency on emergency vehicles, can't take it off, but it was causing a lot of problems.
Yeah. Even more Phil with it still.
Good that we can do that.
Any other questions for Philip? Ordinance 2025-1134. Again, this will be a public hearing and the final reading for our budget for 25-26.
Mayor and Commissioners, there's no changes since the first reading. So everything that you approved on the first reading
Yeah,
is still the way it was. I did put some notes in case you had any questions. I believe I could answer them if you had any. We do have the street plan and the 4 streets identified for next year. So everything is as presented in May.
perfect. Any questions? Monthly report from city manager. You'll have one Tuesday night.
Yes, sir, I will.
Good. Special reports from other departments, wastewater.
I'll have those Tuesday night as well, but we have Matthew here with bars, so it's going to be even better than mine. And I don't know if you want to wait, because I think we'll get through this pretty quick till we get down there to the asset management.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
They're good with you, Matty? Okay. Gas?
Have a full report Tuesday night.
Okay. New business, resolution 2025-4, a resolution from the city of Mount Pleasant to authorize enter into professional service agreement with civil and environmental consultants on related to zone meters.
Mayor Commissioner, you've seen this probably since I've been in this seat. Every month it's been pulled. I talked to him just before we come in here tonight. He may have me the documents by noon tomorrow. If not, it'll be back on July.
Okay.
Cool.
Resolution 2025-25, a resolution authorizing the appropriation of funds for the Mount Pleasant Murray Museum of Local History.
Mayor Commissioner, this is nonprofit that you approved in the first reading, and it's $2,750 for the museum. $2,750.
Right. Resolution 2025-26, authorizing appropriation to Mount Pleasant Ford Foundation and Main Street.
Same thing in the first budget passage, $25,000. That is the Main Street program.
And I'll say this, Caroline seems to be the new lady over Main Street, seems to be great.
First impression was good.
Yes. Resolution 2025-27, a resolution authorizing municipal funds for Mount Pleasant seniors.
Yes, again, this is in the original budget, and it's $1,760.
Okay. Resolution 2025-28, a resolution for funds for the kids' place.
This is a new one this year on nonprofits, and it's in the budget that you passed in May and possibly Tuesday, but it's $1,000.
And I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but it's a wonderful program. Wonderful program. Resolution 2025-29, contract for a new collection agency.
Mayor Commissioners, I got my notes, so Schiffer, give them to me. So we were using ACI, no company, and then in the last 3 years since she's been here, we received one payment from them.
Yeah.
So she's proposing to switch, and it'll be in your packet, to one line utility exchange. There's no cost to us. After it's, if they do collect money, it's 35% they keep. after 1 year. After 1 year, it's 50%. Again, some of the bad debt or expenses that's been wrote off, if they collect it, I think it's a good thing to go to because our other company, one payment, 3 years.
What's that name again?
It is One Line Utility Exchange.
One line. Two.
Yes, sir.
Sounds like that's all they do is probably municipalities and that type of stuff. That's a good thing. Barge Design Asset Management Plan, Matthew?
Well, Matthew's coming up. This is not the only reason doing that, but it's probably the reason that we're jumping on it. With the ARPA money, if we don't have that by the time we have it complete, they're going to hold retainage of 5% of the total money. I do remember that I did the math, I don't have it in front of me, but it was like $90,000 retainage. And then, of course, Barge and Matthew have a proposal on the table that's cheaper than $90,000. And it's a good thing to have that plan, and I'll be quiet.
Thank you, Philip. So I believe everybody's got a copy of the proposal. As Philip mentioned, it's state.
They don't.
Oh, they don't have a copy. I'm
It'll be
sorry.
in their packet. Sorry.
So I'll try to give you a brief overview. As Philip mentioned, this is a requirement of the state for any ARPA grants that anybody in the state received has to have an asset management plan in place. And the state they've developed some criteria and some guidance as to what needs to be in that asset management plan. So our scope essentially just follows the guide, the requirements of what the state is requiring. So we're doing what I'd say the bare minimum, but in order to check the box, so to speak. But it also is going to be a useful tool for town staff. It's essentially, in the end, it'll be a tool that will allow the town to plan for replacing assets in the future. That's the whole intent of the plan, is to assess what the town currently has, both on the water and the wastewater side, and make sure that we've got an inventory of all those assets, and then look at long-term, when will those assets need to be replaced or maintain or maintenance on those assets. So ultimately it'll be a planning tool that the city will be able to use to plan for expenditures in the future.
Years to come.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So in the end, the total, let me get to that real quick, just for y'all's FYI. As Philip mentioned, it's less than the 90,000. It was 58,500 is the total for us to develop that. Answer any questions y'all might
Sounds a lot better.
And I like the fact that it gives us something to use as we go
Right.
forward about, all right, what do we really need to be, what needs to be replaced and when?
Right.
have. Exactly.
One good thing, and Matthew can chime in if you need to, but we already have the GIS. We have a lot of the elements of the plan, but it's here. It's kind of pulling it all together and putting it in that document.
Yeah, the fact that the city's already got a good set of GIS data, you guys are a step ahead of a lot of folks who are generating their data through this process. So that the cost would have been a lot more if the legwork had not already been done in the past by the city.
That's great.
Good. Fantastic.
Cutting edge town.
Cool. Anything else for Matthew on this?
Appreciate it.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Matthew, you wanna, we got eight,
Okay,
Barge
next one.
Design Wastewater?
All right, so change order number 5 on the wastewater treatment plant. I believe you all may remember a few months ago, there was a change directive that we discussed at a previous meeting in relation to a delay with the wastewater plant job. There was a field visit by the folks that provide the MBR. They identified an issue with the quality of the water, and they were concerned that it was going to cause issues with the membrane bioreactor that was about to be started up. So we had to work with the contractor to get some piping installed. It took a little while to get that negotiated with them, and then ultimately for them to get that piping installed. Then it took time for the material that was in the plant to get screened out so that the quality of the water that was in the plant would not impact the MBR. So that took quite some time. And so this change order reflects the cost of getting the piping installed, getting the equipment in place, and then ultimately the screening of the material. So this is the full representation of all that in summary. It did take some negotiation as far as, we had like the contractors being assessed liquidated damages currently. So this will add some contract time to their contract. So the time that's going to be added, which it ultimately ended up being, let me double check here, 158 days. So that will add that contract time to their contract. So it pushes their contract time end dates to December 18th of 2024 for substantial completion, and then final completion to February of 16 of 2025. So all the days since those days are still, liquidated damages are still being assessed. So just want to make sure that that's clear. But happy to answer any questions. I know there's not much here. It's a one pager, but there's any other questions. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, this will need to be approved by USDA Rural Development because they're providing the funding. So as we've done, I think on other change orders in the past, the board's approval will have to be contingent upon ultimately Rural Development's approval.
New completion date, final, roughly. Okay,
Well,
I'm sorry, I asked that right.
it's been a moving target for about a year, but we've actually been working with Dale just in the last few days on getting some chemical that the membrane bioreactor manufacturer wanted to get installed at the site so that it would allow them to do their full performance testing. So we're coordinating that right now. That should take about 2 weeks. 2 weeks to get here. So once that's in place, then they'll be able to do the performance testing, and then hopefully we'll have substantial completion in the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay, good. Good.
Now that there still will be some cleanup and some other things after that, but substantial completion is that's the big milestone that we're shooting for.
And something that we need.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We should
we don't spend that kind of money, do it right.
see it.
That's right.
Anything else for Matthew?
Thank you.
Matthew, thank you, man.
Yeah, no
Thanks for
problem.
making the trip.
Thank you all. Appreciate it. Thank you all.
I know I'm gonna mispronounce it. Samsara?
Samsara. Samsara.
Okay.
I'm gonna have Haywood come on up and give you a little overview. But basically, from my point of view, this contract that we're already doing, it protects our customers and it protects our employees. So, Haywood.
It is a renewal of the sanitation truck cameras. So there's one driver facing, one forward facing on 3 of the trucks. And then the arm truck has another camera to capture when it gets dumped in. So we're already using it. It's a state bid pricing. So it's $1,100 a year. It's a great service. David loves it. Customer service loves it.
For
So,
$1,100 a year, that's unbelievable, actually.
but just because it's the amount of term, Philip said we need to bring this to y'all's attention.
Okay.
Is that continuous recording?
It's recording when the truck is on.
Oh, okay.
So anytime it's on, it's capturing the driver's movements, what's in front of them, and then on that one truck, it captures the arm as well.
I think we've had a couple of complaints, like, you didn't pick
Picking
up
my
my trash
trash, you know,
today.
like
And
you-
like, we'll check it. And like, what do you mean we'll check it? Well, we're gonna go to the video. So,
It usually shuts it down right
Yeah.
there.
It does very quickly because we have a whole minute worth of video of them pulling up, identifying what is wrong. It actually picks up the driver's voice when they hit a button to record that, and they can articulate, they didn't pick it up for whatever reason. And we've had to send that to customers. I'm like, oh, okay.
Cool. Good deal.
It's invaluable for transportation.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd say it is. High spending vendors list, Philip.
here, Commissioners, this is something new in SHPRA. Just to make sure we're covering our bases. We never had an audit finding, but there's certain vendors we've used for a long time. For example, local like ACE or even Consolidated Pipe with utilities that were spending more than $25,000 in a year. So if it's more than that threshold, We're just putting it in front of you and saying, we're using long-term vendors, and we're gonna continue to do that. Dale even price checks every so often, but just to make sure that we're doing everything right, I want you to be aware, and she'll have that list for you. I don't have it in front of me, but it's a handful that we're spending more than 25,000 a year with. Just kind of give it approval that you know we're doing that.
Perfect. Any questions on that one? I like what they're doing there. It's just clean.
Yep.
City manager contract. And Philip, when we were talking about this, about the agenda, I didn't realize it'd been a year.
It's been a year.
Crazy.
I mean, it seems like it was yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
Or some days like 3 years.
I talked with Corey, and you have the notes for it. 'Cause that's hard for me to talk about myself. But I will say that when I first took last July, I had no intention of staying this a year. But it's been pleasantly surprising working with you guys. It's been pretty good. Honestly, it has been.
Good.
The job's challenging, but I knew if it's a challenge for the job, then I had to challenge it on this side too. That's almost impossible. So, with that being said, if you want to keep me, I'm willing to stay. And it's a challenge by all means. It's hard. It's a challenge, but y'all have been really good to work for.
Now, how much does he want?
I'll give it that.
Yeah. You've done a good job.
Yeah, and I appreciate you.
Great job.
Yes, awesome.
As you'll remember, the original contract, is for the first 12 months, and there's some rules about, like, you can only fire a city manager for malfeasance or really just something bad during that 1 year period. So now that that 1 year period's over, his initial term is done, you have the option to renew a contract or just to keep it the way it is. I will highlight the things that we've changed in this draft that will be presented to y'all. So he asked for $128,000, which is a 4% raise from last year, which just mimics exactly what the other employees had received. Also added a provision in here that said that the city manager will continue to get raises with the employees unless y'all say otherwise. Because, there's been some confusion in the past on whether or not a raise would go with the city manager or not. And there's a sentence that says, like, if y'all give him a raise, then this agreement will be reflected even if we don't actually bring it back. He will get to continue to drive a city vehicle. Right now, y'all got him driving a fire truck if you want to change that. Not the fire truck, but, a fire vehicle.
Fire staff.
But it just says that he will continue to be provided a city vehicle. Y'all will continue to pay the professional dues and subscriptions that he is currently a member of. Just help him keep up all of his licensures. He will get to continue recurring vacation, 4.7 hours of vacation time each pay period, which if not used will roll over to the next calendar year. And hang on. He can engage in professional services and consulting and teaching and things like that, so long as it doesn't interfere with his job here as city manager. Then if y'all fire him or he resigns for not a terrible reason, for not malfeasance or one of those things, that he will get a 6-month severance. And all the retirement and the things that a regular employee would receive, similar to what Kate received on her retirement.
I wanted to clear that up because I think there was some questions about that. So my goal is to retire from here. Now, if that happens, it happens. It doesn't, it doesn't. I understand that. But I think the way it worded it, whatever retirement benefits we offer at the time, because it's hard to say what we'll be doing in 12 years, because that's how much longer I have before I'm eligible, is that I can participate in that. That way, that was an issue, I think, that was resolved, but I want to make sure it's clear that I can participate if it's offered at that time. And then the 6-month severance, the biggest thing I looked at there, when I looked at other similar contracts, after 1 year, of course, you get that year, and then the second year is like 3 months, and then The next year it was like 4 months, and then after that it was 6 months. I'm like, I've been here 13 years, so just make it 6 months and go from there.
Fair.
Yes,
Yep.
ma'am.
You don't want a 4-year contract or something like that?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna do the best I can do to do my job properly, and no hard feelings. If you want me to go elsewhere,
No, sir.
and
No.
I'll do it.
No,
But my goal is to retire from the city of Mount Pleasant.
Wasn't that
Thank
in
you.
there about taking us out to dinner once a month?
I don't remember that one.
About what?
Taking them out to dinner once a month.
Oh,
Oh,
actually, I'm
yeah.
pretty sure there's rules about that. too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there are somewhere.
Kickbacks.
I may, Corey, I may be wrong, but I think my base was 120 and 4% is like 124. But I'll take the 128. Is that right?
I think it was 124
Was it?
last.
Yeah, it was 120.
I thought it was 124 as well.
I'll go back and check, but whatever the number is that he's proposing was a 4%
Yeah.
Increase.
increase.
Yeah.
from last time.
That's one thing I didn't want to do either. Is I'm okay if moving forward, if you give a raise to employees and you say city manager, no, good with it. But what I didn't want to do is city employees get a 4% and then you come back and you give a city manager 7 or 8. I think it should be consistent across the board. But I have no problem if you pull me out of that too. I just didn't kind of like that. I know I'm different. I work for you guys and I'm kind of an employee and I kind of got a contract, but I'm looking at it like I'm an employee of the city of Mount Pleasant.
You are a city
Yeah.
employee.
I'm
But with a little bit of difference.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you feel that
It was
way.
24. It is 24.
And you represent this community awfully well.
Yeah.
And when the city does better, they'll all do better.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So the actual contract will be in y'all's packet along with the resolution. If you have any questions or anything, I'll leave highlighted the things that we changed. And if you have any questions, you can. me or Philip.
I have a question about his vehicle. I don't know how old it is. Hey, this one break down, he could still go get him another one because we will provide him with a vehicle, correct?
I think we've got vehicles here that we just assign to people. The handbook says that the city manager assigns the vehicles, but I think because it's him, he would rather y'all tell him which car to drive.
So it's a couple of thoughts there. I have no problem if the fire department wants that back because we have a brand new Ford Explorer. But if I get in it, then the training vehicle is, we don't have
We
one.
don't have one.
But there's one thing for sure now, we definitely don't want our city manager running around here in some old beat up
No.
vehicle
No.
back now.
Well, I think the police department wanted to be in one of their surplus vehicles and I didn't say it.
Jack ain't giving up nothing.
Jack, no.
Jack ain't gonna give you nothing.
Hero.
Oh, boy.
Wow, Michael.
That's great. We don't have anything.
I would not even bring that. I'll carry you around.
I'll carry you around.
Well, maybe we can find him somewhere.
I want to say this, Philip, and you just got through with that CMFO.
I did.
And when Philip came in and Schiffer and I would be sitting around talking about dollars and cents and money, and Philip told me one time, he said, y'all speak a different language. This young man has gone to work and he understands our language. Thank you.
I think y'all have some crazy stuff in that language.
I know, we do,
I have a good comprehension.
But thank you, Philip. I mean, because thank you. Michael, nobody here to sign up, is there? Lori?
Now, I just want to encourage everyone to support the Juneteenth event that's going to take place on the 19th at Gardenia Park. You're going to need everyone's participation. And if you show up, you get a t-shirt. It says Park Event.
Good.
Starts at 10 o'clock over at
Oh, 10 to 4. Okay. Pam?
I'll say something on Tuesday, but I really appreciate everybody helping out for the touch a truck. Fire department, police department, utilities, everybody was there, and it's really cool to have these events that are free and people can come and just enjoy. So, thank you guys.
There was only one complaint, the fire truck.
Yes, right.
She'd be a disturber tonight.
Yeah. Bill, you got anything?
No.
Mike?
Well, I do.
Okay.
Sorry. Airman Park is coming along. I think the concrete been poured.
Yeah, so I gave an update last night. The Parks Board went over and took a couple of quick pictures, but everybody already seen it. But they have, the taps have been made for the water and the sewer. The foundation is being done now. Once we get electricity there and it up, we'll get cameras at that park as well. I think one of the things too, that a couple people ask, can we get electricity? And it's probably not part of this, but we'll do the shelter itself, so fans and plugs and stuff like that. So look at that too.
And update on the bridge.
So this is, I talked to Lee Rogers Monday, because last month I talked to him and he said May it's going to be done. When I finally got a hold of him the first of this month, and then even Monday, and Michael was in there and he heard it too, so he can verify. But the bridge is done. All they like is the shoulder work and the paving, and his biggest thing is coordinating that with subcontractors. I'm not gonna throw a date out there, and he's not either. So I don't know, a few weeks. It's a hard one, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you credible lead engineer over the projects, a couple of different projects, and then in May, yes, it should be done in May. So I thought it was, and it is credible, but I guess things happen, and y'all seen the screenshot. I sent it to you by email. It didn't open in May, but the bridge is done.
Bridge is done.
But shoulder work and
Duck,
pavement.
Duck River Aero Photography's taking pictures of it for us too. Mike?
Downtown looks good. So like it's,
It does.
It does look good.
I thought Tuesday night I'd catch in the mayor's report, catch up with the meeting from this morning.
Okay.
We're moving right along. 2 weeks is kind of,
I was out. I didn't get that today. I was at in Nolensville sitting on the impasse hiring committee for their fire chief. So got to do that.
Jack, isn't that what you heard a couple of weeks?
Yes, sir.
And hopefully get this
Substantial completion.
substantial, and hopefully maybe get this open tomorrow. Right out front. Knock on wood. Weather. So,
Good deal.
that'll do it, folks. Everybody be safe. Have a good rest of the evening.
all right.